Hello, welcome to another microbit video from me, Mr. Morrison. Today we're going to create a simple game I'm calling Apple Catcher. So the aim of the game is to move left and right and try and catch the apples that are falling. So you've got a basket and the apples are falling in the middle. If you manage to hit light at the same time as it'll make a sound and that means you've caught an apple. So let's see. And there's a 30-second timer, so it's as many as you can score within 30 seconds. Here we are, 30 seconds is up. Let's see what my score was. $22. Okay, so that's my score. So let's see if we can code this onto our microbits. So to create our apple catching game, we first need our onStart and we will need forever. So just keep it to the side. And actually I'm going to duplicate forever. So right click, duplicate to have two forever blocks. Then I'm going to go into input and find on button A pressed, and I'm going to duplicate on button A pressed. So now I have my 5 groups of blocks that we're going to use. For our basket and our apple, they are going to be variables. So they are going to change where the position is on each of the So their position is going to change as we go through this. So I'm going to go into variables and I'm going to make a variable and call it basket. And I'm also going to make a variable and call it apple. So that's my two variables. I'm going to set them up in here. So I'm going to drag in set and drag in set. Now you see with two variables, we're going to have to change one to say basket. So we have set basket 2 and set apple 2. So now we need to go into game. Now game is an advanced. If we scroll down, there's a section where all the game blocks are found. First block we're going to use is create a sprite at. Now, if you've used things like Scratch before, sprite is just a character in a game. In our case, our character is a single dot. And here we have X and Y coordinates. So X goes along the top, Y goes down to the bottom. So if I have something in the very top corner, let's actually show you this. So if I go 0, 0, that'll appear in the top corner when I press play. If I go X, move X by 1, that'll move across. X2, move across. So you see, and then if I go Y, I'm going to go Y1, that'll move down. Y2, that'll move down. So I'll display an image on the screen that shows you those coordinates. But we have 0 in the top corner, counting 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and 1, 2, 3, 4 across. We're going to set our basket to create a sprite at 0, 4. So our basket's always going to start in the bottom corner, like this. Then we're going to set our apple to create sprite at y is equal to 0, so right on the top line, but we're going to have a random number. So it's going to be a random number, so it'll fall in a different place each time. Our random numbers are in math, and we're going to pick random. So pick random, and that is going to be between 0 and 4. So now our next step in our start is we want to start a timer each time. So start a countdown. So in game, we have a countdown found down here, and it's in milliseconds. So if we want 1 minute, we're going to have 60,000 milliseconds. Okay, so 1 minute would be 60,000 milliseconds. 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. So Then we go into having our A and B. So we want our basket to move left and right. So I need to go into game and I am going to sprite change X by 1. So I'm going to drag this in. I'm going to duplicate it. Oops, ignore, it's going to not be happy until we put the right sprite in. So I'm just going to zoom out for a second so we see this. So we have to change this to, rather than sprite, we want it to be basket. And same here, basket. So it'll then be happy, gets rid of the problem in the code. Then we need 1 to move it by minus. So minus just means it's moving backwards. If you take something away, it'll move backwards. So we should be able to see this. Now our basket at the bottom moves left and right. So first of all, for our forever, we're going to put in a loop and repeat 4 times. And we're going to, this is going to be the apple falling. So we're going to go into game and we're going to change apple by 1. So we're going to change here, but we're going to change apple and not X because X is going across. We want to change it by Y. So it's going to fall. And we're going to change it by 1. And we're going to each time going to pause it by 500 milliseconds. If we change this number, it would fall faster or slower. We're then going to go into game and we're going to set apple y to 0. So let's see, we're going to go in here, set. So that is apple, set y to 0. And then we're going to duplicate this and we're going to set apple, set X to pick a random number between 0 and 4. So this just means it is doing what we did at the top in the creating the sprite. It's doing this again. So we're just going to duplicate the pick random number. And that means each time within the game, it's going to repeat those steps. Our final forever is going to have what happens when the basket is touching the apple so that we can get a point. So I need an if-else statement. So I need to go into logic. And I actually don't need the else. I just need an if true. So the first one. And we need a logic statement in the top. So we need to go into logic again. And we need this bit that says Boolean. And we need and. So if something and something, then. So we need the somethings. So we need to go into game and find if sprite is sprite touching something. So we need to go is apple touching, then drag basket. Oh, in fact, we want this to be the other way around. So we want to have basket is basket touching apple and go into game again and we just want is running. So that just means the timer, the game is running. So it's not going to add a score once the game has finished. We're then going to go into music and we're going to play tone for a certain thing. So we're going to make a little sound each time it happens. I've gone for a middle A, for not a full beat, a quarter beat. In background, so in the background means it's not going to wait to do the next instruction. And I'll just duplicate that. So we then have a G, I think. So that'll make a little diddle sound. The important thing we need to put in game is a change score. So change score by 1. And finally, we're going to go into pause and we're going to set pause to 500 milliseconds. So download this onto the microbit and see if it works. And I hope to see you in another video very soon.